Hello. So this may seem like kind of a trivial bullshit topic. I don't know, but I think it sort of points sort of to societal narcissism, and it involves one of the Real Housewives series on Bravo. I know it sounds like stupid. Why are you even watching that? But it actually is kind of interesting if you're studying narcissism, because it's like watching a sociological experiment, which I really think is what these shows are. It's like they throw a bunch of random women together that live in the same area, and I think they select people for personality disorders and throw them all into the same cast. I think they do that on purpose. So I guess it is actually like a psychological, sociological experiment, these shows. And viewers can just watch the train wreck go down from their living rooms. Um, but I was watching the other day the New York City reunion. The season's over, and they got all the women back together, and they brought them out with Andy Cohen, and they're all discussing this past season. And I've kind of followed the show for a while, so I was on Facebook and I liked their Facebook page. So you get all the articles that pop up about the show and the reunion, and people comment. And I commented, I actually, you're probably like, oh, why are you even bothering? But I made a comment on one of the articles, because, like, something does kind of piss me off. How, I don't know if you guys all know Bethany Frankel. She's been on the show for a while. Since she was on since the beginning, and then she left and came back, and but I mean, the first season, I thought all the women were abrasive, and she was too, but she seemed to kind of get worse as the seasons went on, and I think she's like, I mean, I'm just gonna say, I think she's a classic narcissist. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people out there that, like, worship this woman and are completely blinded by her, think she could do no wrong, all because she has a business and she's rich. Well, that's, I think I just answered my own question. I think people worship her because she has money. And, I guess she didn't quote-unquote marry rich like a lot of the other women. But I've consistently watched her over years. She's like a nasty pit bull, like just like nasty, just attacking the other women, and doesn't let other women, even if another woman tries to argue back or stick up for themselves, God forbid, she's like one of these attack dogs, like this, like boom, 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 like you can't get a word in edgewise. And it's so obvious. And then one of her taglines on one of the seasons was, if you can't handle the truth, you can't handle me. Well, who's to say that what you say is automatically true just because you say it? Right? I mean, the truth, like, it reminds me of my boss I had that drove me out of my job, who, she used to use this bullshit quote, perception is reality. And that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, because whose perception is reality? I mean, you can ask 50 people, you have a meeting with 20 people and ask them all what their perception is, you're going to get 20 different answers. So, what does that even mean, perception is reality? Like, I guess whoever's the loudest in the room, I guess that's whose opinion matters, I don't know. But I guess that's a bit of a diversion, but if you can't handle the truth, you can't have it. It's like, no, but just because you say it doesn't mean it's the truth. Okay, so, and I saw her on an episode of Beverly Hills one time, where I guess she's been a friend of Kyle's for a long time, and there's that woman, Erica, she's got a musical career, and, she sings and does music videos, and she's in her 40s, and she tries to do, like, the Britney Spears thing, with the dancing and the revealing clothing, and whatever, it's not, you don't have to like it, it doesn't have to be your cup of tea, but I remember on this particular episode, Bethany goes in there and starts just starts attacking Erica for no reason. Like, she didn't even know her, or really, I don't think she even met her before that. Just taking, like, all these subtle digs and, like, attacking Erica's videos. And I felt like saying, you know, obviously I wasn't there, but someone should have said to her, like, excuse me, bitch, how many music videos have you produced? You know, like, just this obnoxious alpha female, like, she thinks she's the, because she has a business, all of a sudden she's the expert on everybody else's business. You know, like my mother. Like, same personality, typical narc, this alpha female bullshit. And she's got so many ass kisser fans. I don't get it. Like, all these comments on Facebook on this article saying how, oh, Carol's wrong, Bethany's my girl, it's only because, you know, Carol's in the wrong, and Bethany, and how many women had to regurgitate that she quote unquote speaks the truth? Like, what is people's preoccupation with speaking the truth? I mean, yeah, you want to be honest, you know, lying is another narc trait as well, but what is it about this woman that everything out of her mouth is automatically the truth? And none of the other women are allowed to stand up for themselves. Like, what is about it in our society that so many women look at her behavior and which is so clearly narcissistic, and just blindly stick up for it, and any other woman that tries to defend themselves is automatically wrong? And some of the comments I saw, you know, and I guess I brought it on myself because I actually left a comment on this article kind of saying something kind of like what I just said. I really don't get it. How do you people not see this? And I got some nasty comments back, which I expected, which, you know, none of these women obviously are women I'd want to be friends with, because they're getting comments like, she speaks the truth, Carol lies, she goes behind people's backs, you know, and I never said Carol was perfect either, because I do see some traits in her as well. But it's like Carol, it's like they're making Bethany out to be like this, like, yeah, she's a bitch, but she's really a heart of gold deep down. And then Carol is automatically 100% wrong. It's just totally weird. And I don't know if people they don't like the fact that Carol's married to a political family. I don't know what people have against her, and Bethany is so elevated. Or Carol's politics, because she was, you know, she's very liberal, but, so maybe that's part of it. But people were then someone said in the comments, well, yeah, it's because she tells it like it is, and those other women want to hear it, and for considering that they think they're businesswomen, they're all a bunch of wimps. So this is what somebody wrote back to me. For women in business, they're all a bunch of wimps. So that right there, what that woman said in the comments, that's a narc mentality too. Like, anyone that gets upset over anything is automatically a wimp. Or if you talk back to her, if you call her out, you're jealous. So it's like these women act like they personally know her, and it's like they're all in high school trying to vie for a seat at the popular table, and she's queen bee, and like all these women are kissing her like the ass of someone they don't even know. And I don't know what like this whole Bethany phenomenon is. It's because it's not just the women on the show. It's like all these people are so supportive of her, and it's scary because I think that means all these women that are so like, all these Bethany ass kissers are probably narcs themselves, and I think it's kind of a reflection of societal narcissism, and like bullying is okay. And this whole thing about speaking the truth, it's like, it's a way to cover up abuse. Like, my mother used to do it, my boss used to do it. I'll say, Ma, well, you said this and that. She's like, well, it's true. Or, you know, my boss would, sometimes her precursor to a lot of things was, I'm just gonna be honest. And then she'd rip you apart. But who's to say, like, that episode on Beverly Hills when she was trashing Erica's video, like, who's to say she was right? Like, it's like, oh, she was speaking the truth. It's like, no, now all of a sudden she's an expert in music videos. So, I don't get, it's like the nastiest person is automatically right. Is that the mentality in our society now? I guess it is. And then too, I noticed in the comments, people were we're throwing gender into it. And I'm just like, wow, I think this is why a lot of women can't be friends with each other. Someone said that, yeah, she's straightforward, she speaks the truth, and then someone said, if this was a man, people would be calling him a bully. And I didn't even respond after that, because I figured I'd already interjected enough. I don't want to start a fight. I don't want to make it worse. I already started enough of an issue. But the thing is like someone said that, and I think that person's right. Like, people are arguing back and forth now, like, what if this was a man? Because I think it started, somebody said, if it were a man, people would be saying, oh, he's just assertive, and they'd leave it at that. And then someone said, no, I disagree. I disagree. They'd be calling the man a douchebag. And honestly, like, the whole gender thing is getting kind of old, where you'll say, like, oh, well, it's okay for a man to act that way, but not a woman. But I think it has kind of turned the other way. Like, I think people are more likely now to label a man as being an asshole, where Bethany now is a strong woman, where I think men get away with less now, actually, but women that behave like that, you're a strong woman if you're a woman and a bully. So, I don't think that's true. Like, if it were a man, he'd just be called assertive and it wouldn't be a problem. I mean, maybe, but women, like, a woman behaves like that, she's a strong woman, like, she's somehow speaking for everybody. It's like, I don't know, maybe these women think they're living vicariously through her because they don't feel like strong women themselves. I don't get it. And again, I know the other women on that show have a lot of issues, like that woman Ramona. I think she's extremely toxic as well, Ramona, and she always was. So I'm not necessarily defending the others, but I just don't get this Bethany worship. It's like a cult. I really don't. And, you know, Carol's not perfect either, but, you know, I think some of her points are legitimate. And I think Bethany, honestly, like, she kind of made it like Carol in the earlier seasons was a bit of a puppet or a follower, and I don't think she expected Carol to grow a pair of balls, and now that she has, she can't take it. I think that's really what the issue is. So, and another thing why I think this relates back to societal narcissism is, judging from the back and forth dialogue at the reunion, I think Carol must have researched narcissism herself because of what happened between her and Bethany. Because she was using a lot of terms which kind of made me think that she called Bethany a narcissist, but then she's using terms like stop controlling the narrative, stop gaslighting. So I think something happened between her and Bethany where I think Carol was led into researching narcissism. And Bethany now is like, she's like, oh, what is it? Is narrative your favorite word now? You know, kind of just like belittling and like, and then when Carol told her stop gaslighting me, she's like, oh, I would like to see your medical degree. Bethany, do you have a medical degree? Because I want to see it. But this is the same bullshit a lot of narcs do, where you don't need a medical degree to, I mean, okay, someone without a medical degree, you can't formally diagnose somebody as a narcissist or cluster B, but anyone can observe toxic behavior and call it out for what it is. You don't need a medical degree to see if someone's behaving like a toxic bitch and to compare their behavior to a list of behaviors that describe a disorder. So maybe I can't formally diagnose somebody as a narcissist, but I could read a list of toxic behaviors and say, oh yeah, that's what this person does. Yep, you know. So no, bitch, you don't need a medical degree to see that you're toxic. And she's like, oh, well, narrative is your favorite word. It's like, well, maybe there's some truth to it. And just kind of, you know, debunking everything that Carol's trying to say. So I do think Carol must have researched narcissism. And there's probably a reason why she did. So, again, you you guys are probably like, why are you watching that crap? But, you know, I know it's stupid, but after all the research I've done, it is kind of interesting, actually, to watch the dynamic and analyze their behavior. So I don't know if any of you follow the show or what you guys think of the cast, or if any of you can shed any light on this Bethany Frankel cult that seems to be taking over America, and how it's like, no matter what she does, everyone's always kissing her ass, and she's always right, and the other women must be wrong or jealous. It's beyond me, but maybe I'm missing something. So, anyway, that's the end of my rant, I guess, and I'll see you soon.